Very much so. Aylish, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us. Here we are at Canterbury. You just told me this is the first time you've been to the ground. How much are you looking forward to this afternoon's game?
Yeah, really much so. There was obviously Kent v Surrey here last night. Really high scoring game and the pitch looks really good. Outfield a little bit wet in areas, but I'm sure it'll dry up by the time we get started. So yeah, really exciting.
Right, I'm going to take you back now. I've been doing this with everybody. Can you remember the first time someone, or you, picked up a bat or a ball, or someone put a bat or a ball in your hand?
Yeah, I think I was probably about 10. I remember going down my local cricket club, Rowledge, on a Friday night. It used to be buzzing, loads of kids playing softball cricket, and yeah, a lot of my school friends went there. So yeah, I just used to sort of play around. There's a few girls there, a few boys, and yeah, we just play a little bit of softball cricket.
So how did it progress from that to sort of playing club stuff or playing with the boys? How did you progress into that?
Yeah, so I carried on, I guess, on the Friday nights for a while, and then you had a few fixtures when you were younger, but there wasn't a girls' team at the time. So yeah, I started playing in the boys' sort of hardball program, going through winter training till about I think I played with the boys' team till about 16 there. But I did start playing girls' cricket when I was about 13. So I played boys' cricket at Rowledge,
Yep.
And then I went to Aldershot to play girls' cricket. That was one of the local teams. And yeah, it sort of really progressed from there. I think it was definitely obviously very competitive in the boys' cricket, and I was opening the batting, and obviously I'm very small. I had the ball sort of flying past my ears quite a lot of the time. So I definitely wanted to continue that to give myself a really good challenge and keep progressing me. And then I found when I went to the girls' cricket, I guess I was much more powerful. I was bowling the ball a little bit quicker, expecting the ball a bit quicker in the field, and I guess that's where it sort of all took off.
Yeah, it's interesting that sort of being in boys' cricket at the start. I use the word intimidating. I'm not sure that is the right word, but when you first turned up, were you the only girl there when you first turned up?
Yeah, I was, but I was fortunate in that most of the boys I was at school with, so I felt very comfortable in that regard. I played football with them in the playground, and I was very much kind of on the same level as them. Obviously, as I got older, I found because maybe I was holding my own a bit, the team were actually really supportive, and it was only ever when you came up against other teams that they might give you some stick. But I mean, I even captained the boys' side at under 15s for a whole season, which was, I was probably the only girl in the league, let alone captaining a boys' team, so that was quite exciting. But yeah, I'd say my team were, really supportive, and yeah, I didn't sort of see it as intimidating or anything at all.
Because it's different now. I've mentioned to a couple of the others, I've got an 11-year-old daughter. We're trying to get her, she's got into her cricket, we've got a club nearby, and they have a full women's program. Which probably wasn't the case, as you say. We had to go to Aldershot to do that. What was that like, just going across to Aldershot and then just playing women's cricket?
Yeah, so obviously you played within your age group, and I mean, I was sort of dominating a little bit, but then I got into playing women's cricket really early, so probably from the ages of sort of 14, and that actually gave me really good experience. I saw some really good players, and again I was getting that new challenge, so it was quite exciting for me. I guess I felt more at ease, a bit more comfortable, just purely on the fact that maybe I was shining a bit more, whereas every game in the boys' team I felt like, not to my team, but to the other teams, I was almost felt like I was justifying why I was there, or having to justify my performances. So, but yeah, no, it was really good to transition from both, keep playing both.
And then Hampshire.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you get into that pathway? How did you progress from the club cricket into the Hampshire programme?
So I remember, again, it was from Aldershot. I got put forward for a trial. But I was very much just an athlete at this stage. I wouldn't really say I was very good at cricket, but I was just generally sporty. And Hampshire actually still have a district system in place, so I went to a district trial And at the end of the day, they said, you're definitely going to be in the district team, but you might be in the county team. And I was like, okay, I was definitely probably not the best one there, but I was probably the best in terms of general athleticism. And then, luckily, whoever it was, I don't know, gave me that chance, put me in the county team. I was probably one of the worst ones for a good year. And then I went to see a coach, and he sort of transformed me, and then I just started sort of really shining in the county system in Hampshire.
Yeah, and how much did you enjoy being in the county system? Because that's, you've got club, then you take that step up to county.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I mean, for me, again, I've always sort of thrived on getting new challenges, and again, sort of going into that side being one of the worst players, being not even really getting a game, but sort of playing in the friendlies. But again, being around really good players and looking up to them and thinking like, wow, that's where I want to be. How do I get there? The team had a lot of confidence as well, and I guess coming in, I was probably a bit, I'm the new, sort of the new kid
on the block. Yeah.
yeah. So it kind of made me have to take on the challenge and have to try and shine to I guess, bring myself up to the level that these girls are. I had to really come out of my shell and show a bit of sort of personality, and it definitely helped me, but I loved it.
Yeah, and I've been commentating on you for the last 4 or 5 years now. How did the move to Surrey come about then? How did you progress into the Surrey system?
So I was sort of playing at Devon for a few years. I was at Exeter University, but still living in Surrey. So I was travelling back a lot, and Jeremy Greeks, one of the Surrey coaches, he was my one-to-one for about 3 years, and he was in my ear every year, and I guess I felt like I'd contributed a lot at Devon. I'd done a lot for the team, and I guess again I wanted that new challenge. I knew the Surrey side, it was going to be a little bit trickier to get into. I was going to have to fight for my place. They were in a higher league, and it was going to be a bit of a battle. So again, I felt like to again progress my cricket, I kind of needed to move back to Surrey. I was already comfortable because I knew the coaches well. I knew a few girls in the team, and Surrey's just been fantastic. If you think of even the hiring of Richard Bedbrook, sort of 4 or 5 years ago, and having that almost full-time role. The support there was unbelievable, and Surrey have always been so good at supporting women's cricket, and we were training 2-3 times a week. I'd get a 1-to-1, and we were probably the only club doing that in the country, so it was a bit of a selfish decision, but I felt like it was a decision that I had to make if I wanted to keep progressing.
Talk about South East Stars in a minute. What I never could quite work out with you is how you fitted everything in, because obviously you're doing your university stuff, then you're teaching as well, and you're playing the cricket. How hard was that to keep everything going at the same time? Yeah,
so it was tough, and I think when I was at university, in a way, it gave me a bit of a break. I had university cricket, I had Devon cricket, I was in the England Academy for a couple of years, and I actually did feel sort of quite burnt out, and then I got dropped from the England Academy, and I just that's what coming back to Surrey did. I just wanted to enjoy my cricket again, and I found taking that pressure off of really, the performance being the be-all and end-all, and where can I get in this England system. Yes, I was, still doing my degree and, trying to work and do coaching bits, but it was like, I just want to go back, play with my friends, and see if I can start enjoying it again, which, I made the move to Surrey, and I did. I took a bit of time out and went travelling for 4 months, and I just had a bit of a break from it, which then, when I was working, it then made me think, right, I've got training after work, I'm really excited to go. Whereas I'd say, a few years prior, it felt more of an effort. So
now, of course, with South East Stars, you're full time.
Yeah.
On a professional contract. It's an obvious question, but what difference does that make when you are now being paid to play cricket and it's your full-time job?
Yeah, it's been massive. Like you said there, I was almost battling, working and playing, and when you get to that higher level, it becomes a lot more difficult. I was making a lot of sacrifices, I was working, pretty much full time at the school, and although I loved, gymming in the morning, working, then going to training, it was exhausting, and I was sort of constantly on overdrive. So now being able to put my full focus in it, to have the breaks, to recover properly, and really go into every session focusing. This is my 100%. My games come up massively, and it's just even just the mental side of it. I think I'm much calmer. My mind's less busy, I think, just because I'm focused on sort of one or two things rather than hundreds.
Yeah. But if I'd said to you 5 years ago, you'll be a full-time professional cricketer, would you have thought the opportunity would be there?
No, I'd say I was very much hoping on, like you said, pinning everything on those sort of England dreams, and that's where I think, a lot of players probably came unstuck when they realised that it might not be happening for them. It became very mentally taxing because you were constantly, putting everything into everything you could. And so, yes, I definitely wouldn't have thought that, but the opportunity came, and I think it was credit to the last sort of 4 or 5 years with me. I just didn't stop pushing that whole 4 or 5 years. I was probably grinding myself into the ground a little bit, but the hard work's kind of paid off, and I've achieved, something that, I didn't think was possible a few years ago.
And are you finding your game's changing as well now, in the fact that you are just able to focus solely on cricket?
Yeah, massively. I mean, even just the focus, I think, in and around training. I'm going into sessions saying, this is what I want to work on from session to session, whereas, like you said before, I might just turn up and almost be like, just tell me what to do, because I can't think about anything right now, I'm so tired. So in terms of my batting, and being in the gym more consistently, I'm so much stronger. I've been so much more athletic in the field. That's come on huge, and I just almost feel calmer out in the middle because I'm just that bit more confident in my skills. Whereas, last year it was like, well, I'm putting all this effort, like, hopefully it all goes okay. But now it's, I have confidence in what I can do.
Are you still studying though?
Not at the moment.
No, not at the moment. Is there a thought of that, maybe?
I've thought about doing a bit more. I've also been looking at doing my level 3 coaching badge as well. So I'm definitely still keeping things in the background. I'm still coaching for the Surrey county age groups as well, so definitely keeping myself busy.
Okay, final question is, there's always people that get you to this point. Who have been the sort of big influences on you to get to this point in your career?
So I'd say Monty Lynch, so he's old Surrey player.
Yep.
He was the one that transformed me into a sporty girl, into a cricketer. He trained me for 3 or 4 years when I was really young, and he's had a massive influence. I still am in contact with him now, and it's really nice. Again, Jeremy, like I said, another one, really influential coach. He just really taught me the fundamentals, and just to keep things simple, and have that really strong technical game. So I'd say those two in particular. Obviously, like the family and everything have massively supported me, and I've had countless times with my dad's down the nets, probably when it's raining or snowing, but he's been out there throwing balls at me. So
Brilliant. Well, look, you better go, because I think you're going to go get warmed up for the game. But thank you very much for your time, and good luck this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Super.
Thank
Sorry,
you. That was
I
good.
kept seeing them.
No.